say hey there.
Hey there.
Nice to see you.
You too.
What's going on? Kind of an eventful weekend here in town, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
Yes.
Tons of things going on.
Watching a Husky game Friday night, I'm thinking to myself, do I need to put up another billboard?
Yeah, no kidding.
Is that what I need to do? 40, some odd free throws by UConn?
Yeah, quite a few.
And you got a multiple homicide Saturday morning.
Yeah.
A little bit of some stuff going on around here.
Just a tad.
All right. It was an action-packed weekend, wasn't it, Stephen?
It was, yes. Should have been us losing to George Mason yesterday.
Okay.
Wasn't that? I mean,
That was
of all the
craziness.
combinations of things that could have happened, that was the one we didn't go over.
Right.
I even said on Friday, I said, wouldn't it be terrible if it came in Monday morning and the Huskies beat UConn, but then they lost to George Mason?
Yes.
Didn't know it could be the other way around.
I would have taken it, though.
But I'm
I don't
happy
know.
for them.
Don't be so sure.
Oh.
It's kind of embarrassing to lose to George Mason if you're UConn,
everybody has.
I know.
University of Washington.
Yeah. But that's what this is all about, right?
But the
little smaller
problem
college.
is-
Would rather lost to them.
Here's another situation where a local team, one that you cheer your heart out for, outplays the opponent and loses. This is not a good trend.
No, it's not.
Not a good trend, because they beat UConn, but didn't win the game, Terry.
No, I know. I watched it.
And, yes, there were so many more free throws for UConn than there were the Huskies, but this wasn't as blatant. Although there were times when I'm sitting to myself, sitting there going, I mean, give me a break, please. Referees, come on, call David. I'll put up another billboard. But didn't leave you with the same, at least it didn't leave me with the same bitter taste in my mouth, Terry.
Right.
But still, it was another case of the local team, in this case the Huskies, outplaying the opponent and losing.
Oh, well, yeah.
It's frustrating.
I know.
Please.
Get it right, people. Sooner or later.
And how many guys on the team fouled out?
I know.
Starting
6.
Yeah.
Jeez.
How many guys on the UConn Huskies fouled out? 0. Come on. But they did make that shot with time running out in regulation.
Yeah. I know.
2 daggers 8 years apart
Yeah.
by the UConn Huskies. And then you got murders on Capitol Hill. I mean, what the hell, man? What the hell's going on?
It's kind of crazy, too. Yeah.
All right, so there's a lot going on today, I think it's safe to say.
Oh, I would say so.
Yes.
Yeah.
You had a good weekend, Stefan?
Oh, I did, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Enjoyable, watching a lot of basketball.
Is that right? That's what you did? That's you?
Yeah, my son enjoys it.
Wow. You had a conversation with him about this?
It seems like it, because you put him in his little chair in front of it, and, anything else we watch he doesn't seem to like.
Now, what do you do if he calls you Steve? Because I know it makes you go a little crazy.
Oh, he won't.
Oh, okay.
You'll make sure of that, won't you?
It's spelled with a PH!
He'll do it once, and then there'll be a lesson taught.
Hell
Wow.
to pay.
Symptom of a battering parent.
That's right.
Wow.
I see. I have to keep this bit of audio tape for the trial.
I know.
He'll know the backside of my hand very quickly.
Oh, jeez.
That's sweet.
Nice.
Starting early, are ya?
Just in case we didn't have enough evidence for the trial, we have a little bit more now. You all right there, Stephen?
I'm
Everything good?
Yes.
Should I even ask you if you had a good weekend or no?
Oh, I had a great weekend.
Oh,
How about you, Team?
how is that possible? That the,
What do you mean, how is that
the
possible?
Huskies lost. You were
Well, I mean,
obviously
it was a fine
frustrated
weekend.
about that. And what made it such a great weekend? Give me the highlights.
Well, I had my little appearance. That went well.
that's
what
right.
else did I do?
You.
Nothing
I
like,
heard
nothing like
you.
McDonald's to cheer you up.
How'd
That's
that
right.
go?
You heard him on the air?
Yeah, where was I going? Somewhere. I
Okay.
can't remember. I was in the car, but I heard it.
Same as every day, Terry. Nowhere.
Yeah, no, probably.
I think every weekend is great just because,
Just because you're alive and kicking.
That's right.
That's a good attitude. Especially when you have fries to shove in your mouth.
I know. Did you eat a lot of good food?
Oh, jeez.
Well, they kept bringing it out. What are you supposed to do? Say no thanks?
There it is.
Oh, sure, more McNuggets?
Oh, jeez. So,
Okay.
did a lot of people show up to share McNuggets with you, Stephen?
Well, the good thing is that McDonald's is kind of a built-in place where people go already.
Right. So you
there
just
was a lot of
convinced
people.
yourself they were showing up for you, but really they were showing up for Grimace and some shakes.
Well, yeah. Probably.
Because Stephen is the human Grimace.
Wow, really?
4 people said, you're not as fat as they make you out to be.
You love that, don't you?
I do love it.
He loves to bring that up.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's funny when I do appearances. People always say that to me.
Yeah,
So-
that's exactly how I talk.
So the thing you want to leave us with is that we paint a bad picture of you.
No, it's fine. I mean,
We-
and I say it's good because I like hearing that. It's a compliment. So I'd rather people say that, then
You like hearing it, A, because it makes you feel that you're a good-looking guy, which, and B, because...
not necessarily good looking.
Because it confirms your opinion that it is a situation where we paint we put you in a bad light, it's unfair, it's not accurate, all that stuff.
I think it's not that it's inaccurate, but it's not as big as, or inaccurate, inaccurate.
Same thing, yeah.
It's not as bad as I think you portray it.
I see. So
I'm not some huge
oh, jeez.
mammoth man,
Like gay phone operator?
Right.
And the time when we called you a huge mammoth man was?
Well, that's the impression that people get.
If that's the impression, it's the one you leave people with. Now, I've never used the words huge.
No,
I don't think it has.
No,
I don't think it has.
But I
either,
think over the years, talking about his weight.
Well, he's the one who brings up his weight more than anyone.
Well,
really? Mm-hmm. I don't know about that.
The truth of the matter is, I rarely bring up his weight. I only bring up his weight to respond to a comment he's made.
I don't know about
actually
that.
bring it up a lot.
I bring up
Hotshot brings it up all the time.
I bring up a lot of things about Stefan, but I often don't fire off the conversation. I don't begin the conversations about his weight.
Well, I think it's
people don't have that impression.
Well, they have the wrong impression then.
Well, and I
I
think
wonder
it's
what
like,
happened if I didn't appear at McDonald's.
I think it's like Hotshot Scott's, comments about, come on, man, you love food all the time.
Well, they have lunch a lot together.
No,
so
I
he
know
would know.
that, but and,
Yes.
and
The
they're-
fact that when Steven walks into the teriyaki joint and they tell him they're closed is not a good sign.
I think Steven's chin's a little misleading.
his chin's misleading.
Well, he happens to carry weight in his chin.
Yeah, in proportion to the rest of me, yeah, I think so too.
Yes.
Picture 49.
So if you just
I think if you just saw my chin, you would have a big mammoth appearance.
right, if you could just smooth out the chin, smooth it out,
Smooth out the rough edges. I should do that.
All right. Well, there you go. There's your answer. I'm glad we could discuss this. Anyhow,
Keep smiling with your head all the way back.
the bottom line is
And your mouth open. Yes.
Steve had a good weekend.
Oh, good to know, Steve.
Yes.
Who's this now?
This is you.
Oh, get ready for the backhand. Duck!
No, that's fine. You can call me whatever you want.
Thank you, Steve.
Just don't call me late to dinner.
Oh, jeez.
Spike Lee is back, and he is at the top of the box office this weekend. The bank heist thriller Inside Man
Oh, geez.
debuted at #1 this weekend. The new Denzel Washington movie earned $29 million.
Yeah, it's a Spike Lee joint, Terry. Not a typical Spike Lee joint, but
No,
a Spike
I know.
Lee joint.
I know. When I
Not,
heard that it was, I was like, wow.
Yeah, not usual for him to do such a big commercial project.
Yes, true.
But you know what? Those front row Knicks seats don't come cheap.
I guess they don't.
You want to keep your front row courtside seats at Madison Square Garden, you may have to pick up a commercialized project or two
Yeah.
to keep the bank account hefty.
All right. Well, he did a good job.
He did a
huh?
good job. Apparently, it's getting a good reaction, and it's gotten nice ticket sales, Terry. About 30 million over the weekend for
I'd say that's nice.
for the Spike Lee joint. But it looks like a kind of movie you want to go see. That's the kind of movie you want to go see.
Sure.
Exciting, suspenseful,
Oh, yeah.
and all wrapped up in a Spike Lee joint.
Yeah. I mean, man, you got Denzel, you got Jodie Foster.
It's a nice little cast there.
There it is, yeah.
Last week's #1 V for Vendetta slipped a notch to #2. It brought in $12 million this weekend, and the Disney horror flick Stay Alive checked in at #3,
Right.
grossing a little more than $11 million.
Okay.
Wow.
There it is. There's your wrap up. Now, on the phone lines, Terry, this is Lady's Choice.
Oh, wow.
I'll either give you the option of Matthew W. Schwager, who claims he was kind of hit by a semi-truck this morning.
Kinda?
Yes.
All right.
How did he phrase it there, Pasty Dave?
He claimed he was bumped on the tire, and if
Well,
he was,
what was his exact words? Just the quick little...
if he was going much quicker.
No,
he
no,
would-
no, no, I'm not asking all that.
Oh, I'm sorry.
When he told... The first thing he said out of his mouth this morning to you about the semi-truck was what?
Yes, he said he was kind of hit by a semi.
Kind of hit. Those are the words he used?
Kinda.
I thought you used different words, and I'm getting it a little off. Because the words you used were better, I thought. The way he phrased it. Never mind. It's all right.
I'll do pasty if it was like that.
Rod. Anyhow.
I have to do Pacey.
Yeah, the fact that Pacey turns to you to do him because you do him better than he does himself.
Hey. Hey,
Yeah.
can you call my parents for me real quick? Tell them I can't make it for dinner. I appreciate it.
If you're going to get hit by a semi, make it count. Come on.
That's
I
right.
know, get flattened out, man. Go to the hospital.
He was kind of hit by a semi. That's one of your options. Or
Right.
we can go to John Terry,
Oh, geez.
who's on the line in tears.
Oh, a crying John?
Yes, because the word he gave Pasty was that if he doesn't get $1,450 in the next day or two, he's going to be evicted from his apartment, Terry.
Oh, man.
That's the apartment where he has all this NASA recording audio equipment, Terry.
Uh-huh.
So
Wow.
John needs $1,450 ASAP,
And he's crying.
or he's going to be out on the proverbial street.
That's a bummer.
Yeah.
Now, I don't think his rent is $1,450
No.
for what I heard described. I've never been to his place, obviously,
Right.
but
You weren't there for dinner last
no,
night?
I passed that invitation. But the words that I've heard over the months and years is pretty clear that his place doesn't sound like it's a $1,450 a month place.
No, 'cause
So
he-
maybe it's, and actually you don't get kicked out of your place until you're like 2 months behind, right?
Well, at first you do your first 30
Oh,
days, and then it takes another 30 to get your ass kicked out.
Right.
Yes.
So the
but
fact
you
that-
do have late fees and all that other stuff.
That makes sense. That his apartment would be $725 a month, right? That
Yeah,
sounds
well-
about right for
More reasonable.
a studio in Kent.
Well, actually, I'm wondering if it's also including all of the late fees and such.
Hmm. Well, that's where I
Because if
leave
that's
it.
the case,
That's
then-
where I leave it with you, Terry. Would you rather talk?
God, that's a tough.
We'll get to the both, I'm sure.
Sure.
I mean,
we
it
will.
is a 4-hour show, don't you know?
Right.
But the question is, would you rather talk to John about to be evicted, or Schwager, a near-death experience being grazed by a semi-truck?
Well,
Wow, it's like
with-
the Make-A-Wish Foundation coming to our show. Which way to go?
Or now we have added on the hotline a gay phone operator.
no, stop it. I'm
who is
overwhelmed.
rejoicing in the moment about John near eviction from his
Well,
apartment building.
I think that we have to talk to John first
Really?
before we were to.
Before we lose the tears, is what you're
Yes.
saying.
Now, if
Yes.
Schwager would have got drilled by the semi, then I'd want to talk to him.
Right.
You know what, though? You know what? Y'all can make fun of my stupid ass, but I'll tell you one thing, though. None of you are living that high class where you are, T-Man, Terry, and Scott, and Dave, and everybody else living on high class my skates and goddamn bullshit stuff.
Wow.
That's
Yeah,
right.
it has to do with charge my rent's only $625, but
All right, John, let's ask some questions here. Number one, how soon do you need $1,450?
I needed it back on the 16th of this month,
Oh,
but I
geez.
got served this in the Superior Court of the State of Washington
it went to
and also
court.
the County of King Kent.
Oh, to King Kent. Now, why would
That's what
you,
it says in
not
the
good.
paperwork.
That's not good.
especially when you get served by the County of King Kent, Terry?
Yeah.
I
Now,
got this
Kong
word on my
Kent's the
door
worst.
yesterday when I came home from my damn job where I'm not getting the hours I was getting. It says, do not enter these premises.
okay, now why
Whoa.
are you, and how you didn't believe everything you read, obviously, because you're in the premises, or what? What, it said not to enter the premises
his job did.
of your own apartment or your job?
I'm calling from downstairs.
Okay, so you're not in your apartment.
No.
Okay, whatever.
Uh-oh.
Anyhow, downstairs sounds pretty cozy. But,
Yeah, it doesn't.
all right, so your job told you that they don't have nearly the amount of hours that they used to give you because...
No, they were giving me, this would happen. They've
Oh,
given
geez.
me the hours, okay? I asked for an advance so I could pay my goddamn rent
All
for
right, easy
this
now.
month.
Yes.
And there was a couple situations that happened that where they refused to give me the advance because there was
Bastards.
one day last week, I think it was Friday or
Isn't
something,
every
or
employer
Thursday,
required
that
to give
could
every
I
employee an
get
advance?
gas money to go to work.
Right.
And so he missed work.
Okay.
Right.
John, let me ask you a question. Are you about to be evicted or not? Or
Yes,
have you...
I can prove it. I got
All right.
paperwork.
Well, if he's got the 30-day, if he's already had a notice on his door
they
that
give me
says
3 days
you
to
can't
vacate
yeah.
notice.
Believe me, I don't need proof that you're about to be evicted. Something tells me I can believe that. Anyhow, number two.
I don't buy that.
When is the last day that you were given that you're allowed to live under the roof that has been yours for a number of months and years now? And when is it on the street time? When does that clock tick down to zero?
According to the paperwork, yesterday, get out. There was a do not enter notice to go into these to the premises where I lived.
Ooh, he's done.
He's done?
He's done.
Now I've got a complaint for unlawful detainer and eviction summons.
Uh-huh.
Means
Even
that-
if you got the money, you still couldn't go
yeah,
back?
he can't.
even if
They've
it-
already put out
No, they gave me until it says right here, it says, this is a notice of lawsuit to evict you. Please read it carefully. The deadline for your written response is 4:30 p.m. on a day in April, okay?
But Terry
you didn't read it carefully.
But Terry's saying that even if you get the $14.50 and pay it, they'll say thank you very much, but you're not allowed to stay in your apartment. You're done in that place.
When I came back to Colorado, when my grandma died, that's the reason I went to Colorado, and I came back on
save it for your landlord.
of the month, and I told
The landlord already said, sorry, I don't believe it.
The landlord said, what do you have, 7 grandmas? I've heard the story 6 times already. John. So the bottom line is, listen, it's not a joke. Yeah, well, the bottom line is that Terry has been in building management, and she knows from that letter, and she's saying that forget about asking for the $14.50. It's time for you to start figuring out your next move, because even if you give over the rent money, you are not going to be able to stay there. And as one person who's kind of giddy about all this.
I tell you what, I'll build a goddamn board, and it'll be called John John's Mobile Motel Room.
Yeah, that's the problem. You have a mobile motel room. If you'd stop inviting people over from the chat line to live with you, and then kicking them out, and have an imaginary friend,
you gotta think you want to your high-class profile apartment. You think it's freaking funny, don't you? You think it's funny?
Don't you?
I hear you laughing right through your staples, bitch.
Oh, my God. Hey, John,
why don't you come and staple it down and bang the hatches, honey, with your staples?
Yes,
John, have you tried the Bread of Life mission?
Oh,
I know, because I can reach my hand out far enough to get inside of one.
Oh.
That's actually an interesting point. Does John have many other options besides the Bread of Life mission at this point?
Can I say the word to get dumped? Can I say the word to get dumped?
Can you what now?
Can I say one word just to get dumped?
Just to get dumped? All right, you can say the word and we'll dump
your
it.
finger on the T-man with your purple-blue fingers.
Okay, my purple-blue fingers are on the dump button.
You effing son of a bitch. F you, gay foot operator.
Wow, he's still editing himself. Yes.
Oh, my God.
My purple-blue fingers have just been wasted
Because
today.
you know what?
Oh,
I'll be posted out at 2500 Southwest Bud right outside your apartment.
Oh, jeez.
Whoa!
Really, God, it'd be good if you got the right address, you idiot.
Hey,
I
John,
may just be posting us hanging on your door saying I stopped.
You can come to my door. You're not going to be let in. You're some bum on the street.
Ouch.
But you know what? I heard it's awfully warm up in there, bitch.
Oh, jeez.
I can get snuggled up by a fat bitch like you, dumb
jeez.
effing.
Okay, easy
Here
now.
it comes, team.
That I have to
there
dump.
you go.
Okay, that one I have to dump.
That time it worked.
Now my blue and purple fingers have been put to good use.
Phew.
Yes. Now, is
Yes.
this one more blue or more purple?
Ah,
jeez.
yeah.
You'd think that gay phone operator who has been in this situation himself, you would think that gay phone operator who's received a letter like this at some point in his life himself, you'd think, Terry, that he'd have a little sympathy, given the circumstances that John has to face the fear of realizing that his ass could be on the street with no place to turn in the next day or two.
No, because you know what? When I got to that point, I started selling my stuff. I started doing everything I could.
You are an example of how to act and
what
behave.
What the hell did you have to sell? Absolutely nothing.
I sold my TV. I sold personal items. I sold anything I could.
Yeah, but T-Man gave you goddamn money to survive and move.
T-Man never gave me money to...
Yeah, whatever.
Never gave you money?
I said my status on the show, you
Inside the
idiot.
show that you'll ever know about.
All right, maybe we should go to Schwager. What do you think?
Yeah, it's a little bit calmer.
Schwager!
You'll want money, too, though.
Yeah, I know. I need a hospital bill paid.
You almost died this morning?
Yes, and at this time I'm very glad I live in Port Orchard. That way John John's not going to stay at my place.
Okay, hang on. We've got a lot to do, obviously, this morning, Terry.
Wow.
It was a fascinating weekend here in the big city, as you know, Terry.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Huskies should be in the Final Four. They're not.
No.
John should be a working-class citizen in good standing. He's not.
Nah.
Gay phone operator should be fat and gay. Oh, wait, he is?
Well, right, but he's in the process of losing weight.
Right. Lose any more weight over the weekend, gayest? Okay.
Wow.
Congratulations.
Yes. Check back with that. Got unfortunate homicides. We got a lot of weird stuff going on, Terry. I don't know where to begin.
Oh,
So let me step aside for these words.
The T-Man.
distraught as he makes himself seem to sound, huh? And as much as he yells and kicks and screams, I'm not sure the reality has set in that John is basically a homeless man now, Terry. I don't think he's really understanding that.
Like sands through a shot glass.
Now, maybe he knows that he can move back in with his mom, and that's why he feels somewhat comforted. But believe it or not, through all the yells and the tears, I don't know if I hear the reality sunk in on him that he can't stay in his apartment. Right. He's got to pack up all his equipment, all his drool, and he's got to vacate. Because they make you take the drool, Terry. When there's that much drool, they make you take it or they fine you.
He still has to pay the money, too, at some point.
Well, he's got to go to court.
Well, he only has to pay the money if he wants to keep his credit intact, and something tells me that's long past...
what's credit?
Exactly.
He's not going to buy a house anytime soon, so no problem.
Exactly, Terry.
Exactly.
The life and times of the dysfunctional family.
You know what, though? I can't live with my mom. What are you talking about? Move back in with my mom.
Well, then what are you going to do? What are you going to do? What's the reality is that you have a letter that you were reading to us in the last segment. You, a shack is better than no shack.
Yeah. What was your place, a mansion?
She lives in an apartment, too, and I can't live with her.
Well, you have what are your other options? Gay phone operator brought up the only other option, and that was the life and time...
Bread of life.
Bread of life mission.
Right. So what are your options at this point, John? Because the reality is, the letter you read, Terry has made it clear to us, you must vacate regardless of whether you come up with money or not. So what's your next move, John? Seriously.
I'm living in my goddamn car, and I don't want to go there. You know, I've already asked other people for help, and I can't go anywhere else.
You take taxis everywhere.
I'm not going to live in my damn car.
What car?
I'm thinking a job because they refused to give me an advance. They could have saved me this last
it's not their fault.
Yeah.
But they wouldn't give me the damn money.
Why didn't you go to Chicken Cash or something like that?
Oh,
Someplace like that.
What, Terry?
Why didn't you go to, one of those cash advance places?
You have to have a job, though.
Yeah,
he supposedly does have a job.
John, forget the fact that your employer wouldn't give you the advance and all that other stuff. What's your next move? You got to live in what car do you have?
I have no choice, T-Man. I have no choice but to get the hell out of here. I shouldn't be in this area right now.
All right, so where are you going?
Live somewhere else.
Where?
In my car.
Oh.
When did you get a car?
I've had a car, Terry. I don't drive it because
it has no wheels.
I get so effed up sometimes that I don't drive.
Oh, okay.
Which America should respect the facts and not on the highways and byways with all the sober American working people.
For that, we should give you money.
Well, yeah.
So that's your plan. Your plan is to vacate your apartment and live in your car for the immediate future, if not the long term.
If you're going to live in your car, you should at least drive somewhere sunny.
Mm-hmm.
You guys are just...
I'm asking you a question.
Yeah, I have nowhere to go with my goddamn car. That's the whole effing point. I have got nowhere to go.
Well, Schwager does have his own place.
Oh, yes, he does over there.
Schwager wants me as a roommate. Right. A college kid going to college.
Yeah, that's what college kids usually do. Now, Schwager.
Actually, I have assigned to my lease that I cannot have anybody stay more than a week.
Isn't that
that's
that convenient? Yes.
Mostly for his family, I think.
No, I do. It was because of my family. I had that.
So you're basically telling John he's not invited into your home.
Correct. I had that put in my lease because of my family.
Wait, what did I tell you when I called you when there's a first eviction summons take notice?
Actually,
what did I tell you the other day?
And
what did you offer me? You didn't really offer me nothing, but what did you say to me?
You never called me about this.
No, I called you and you told me.
No, you called me about hanging out with you in Seattle to make it a big radio show.
Schwager, wait, let John speak. What did he tell you when you called him about this apparently a week ago to give him warning that this was going to happen? What did he say to you, John?
That he's wake. I told him about it, and I asked him. I says, "Man, is there a possibility you have a room where you're living and stuff?" He says, "Well,
wait, I gotta put Schwager on hold.
And then I'm going to school right now."
What did he say to you in response to that? Did you can move in with him?
No, he didn't say that.
What did he say?
He just says, "Well, it's kind of late. I'll call you later."
Oh, I see. Well, that's big.
Wow.
All right. I'm glad you brought that up there.
Yeah. Call you later.
That's damning evidence.
Oh, yeah.
Don't call him later.
Smoking gun.
John, didn't you have an old roommate like Kevin? What's he doing these days? Maybe you could bunk up with him.
Kevin is in prison because he assaulted me, and he finally got caught up to when he pushed me off the balcony and broke my back.
Well, wasn't that supposedly about 4 years ago? And weren't
Yeah,
you
he finally got caught up through crime victims compensation.
McGruff.
Crime victims of Washington.
Wow. So I see. It's amazing how they're able to hunt you down, that McGruff, yeah. Anyhow.
Well, yeah, because he has to pay all the hospital bills for what happened to me.
Okay. I'm sure he will, with all the money he earns in prison. Now.
Yeah, better learn.
Okay, John. So this time next week, where will you be?
T-Man, I don't know.
Okay.
I really don't know.
Well, if you can't move in with John, there's only one other person that possibly may take him in, Terry.
You could save him right here.
Yes, he could save him with all the love affairs and...
I ain't trying to live in the pocket of a kangaroo.
Mm-hmm. Gayest.
Maybe his stomach shrunk.
Will you, now that you have more room in your place, Gayest?
I call him a kangaroo.
Y'all think this is fun.
Will you move John in?
No.
Because you can't live without him in reality.
No.
But you'll talk to him every night.
Think how much money you'd save on the chat line. You can just look over at him in the next room.
Hey, you know what, though? Gay actually has not been on the chat line within a little while.
Well, maybe you shouldn't be either, John. Maybe you should be trying to figure out how you can avoid living in your car.
Yeah, don't you remember the last time something like this happened and he needed money for a lawyer and he lied about it?
No, I didn't lie about it. Thanks to Spokane, well, one of our old affiliates in Spokane came through and helped me out.
So
That's why I
scammed
saved
them of
that
money.
goddamn place.
So you scammed them of money at that time, too?
Oh, scam. What are you talking about? They gave me money. They didn't give you money. That's why you're so upset about the fact
The affiliate in Spokane gave you money?
Oh, my God.
Why did they give you money?
I remember T-Mac. I can't remember what he said 5 seconds ago.
That's right. I have no recollection of any affiliate deciding.
Remember when Pasty Dave came over to my house, seen a money order by well, it's kind of hard to say because it's so long ago, but a station in Spokane.
Right.
And Pasty Dave, when he wasn't a producer, still a virgin.
Right.
Which he is.
Yeah.
And Jimmy Fred Weeman sent him over there to verify a money order. He came over.
Oh, so you got money from Spokane.
So then Dave should remember.
All right. Anyway. Pasty looks all confused, too.
Yeah, he does.
You remember this, Pasty, seeing a money order? I kind of vaguely remember something like that.
Yeah, there was something like this. I thought, like,
all right,
Keith sent money or something.
Keith Rhodes sent him money?
No, Kiki Love.
Whatever his name is. All right, same guy. Anyway. John, there's no Spokane affiliate to bail you out now, so what the hell are you going to do?
You know, it probably, well, sorry.
I don't know what I'm going to do.
Why don't you call your chat line friend and see if you can move in with them?
He is. He's talking to you.
He just hung up the line.
He did?
Either that or...
Our phone was cut off at 7 a.m. today.
Just got disconnected at 7 on the dot, Terry.
Yeah. That's 6 months
I kind of feel
overdue.
sorry for him, but it's like, what if the show didn't exist? Like, what would be his backup plan besides asking us for money?
I'll tell you what, if John ceases to exist in any realistic formation, Terry, the person who suffers the most is the only person left on the phone line.
I don't think so.
Mm-hmm. You lose 98% of your entertainment.
That's a high percentage of it.
Well, you're not that funny. I guess that's true.
I was about to say 98% of your entertainment from 10 a.m. until 6 a.m.
No, whatever. I don't even talk to him.
Today.
But the thoughts of him are always racing through your mind.
No, they're
and that's
not.
entertainment enough.
Nope.
So you better do what you got to do to bail this guy out. Because I sure as hell know I ain't doing it, Terry.
Whatever.
No,
like
Tony,
I never
you already
expected
bailed
my job
this
to
one
give me
out.
in advance.
You got to
Whatever.
pay. You got to pay it forward.
No joke.
I bailed you out. Now you should bail him out because I ain't bailing him out because that'd be money down the toilet, Terry.
Yeah, I might pay it forward to somebody that deserves it, but not that piece of crap.
You ain't paying it forward to
never
anyone
pay it forward.
that deserves it. You are not a
Stingy.
pay it forward kind of guy.
Oh, bull.
You're a bitter, mean snake.
I have been at times.
Mm-hmm. Anyway,
But you
whatever.
won't think anybody will deserve it.
He doesn't deserve it. I'm sure there's other people that probably do. And if I had the money, I would help them.
All right, give us the gayest update in 5 seconds or less. Go ahead, yes.
As of last Friday, I've lost 35 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of thought it'd be more for some reason.
I did too.
I don't know why.
I thought you'd at least
as
be the
of Friday
50.
was 20 days. Jesus,
been
give me a
20 days.
freaking break.
It's been a month, right?
No, it's been 20 days as of
That's it?
Friday.
35 pounds. Well, why do you go as a Friday? 35 pounds in 23 days.
I haven't been on the scale since.
All right. I see. And you're not hungry?
No, I haven't been hungry since.
Oh, I am.
And I'm doing something about it.
Well, I'm sure you are.
You don't miss big old buffets?
I do.
You don't miss mounds of gravy?
I do, because it's the mental part that's
You don't
hard.
miss steaming biscuits?
How's those cakes, too, by the way, that you like to get
You
for
don't
yourself?
miss big gooey sheet cakes?
Raspberry filling.
Mm.
No, I'd rather have, like, big things of lasagna and stew and...
Oh, my God.
Still.
Yeah.
Weird guy.
I got a guy from the chat line.
Very good.
Yeah. I had mashed potatoes yesterday.
Tell Stu we said hello.
Yes.
35
Of
pounds.
all the dishes you want stew.
Right. Stu Stevenson, he's 6'5", he's all hairy. All right, very
He's a
good.
real bear.
There he is. Don't have to hear from him the rest of the morning now, Terry.
Yeah, thank goodness.
Clearing the way to what could become an interesting morning.
Jeez.
Getting this all out of the way.
Jeez.
John out on his proverbial ass.
Yeah, pretty much.
Swagger, a near-death experience. We didn't really even hear about that.
No, I know.
How do you get grazed by a semi?
Yeah.
Okay, I was crossing the sidewalk on my bike. Okay. The light was red for 5 seconds. I was
Right.
almost into the second lane of traffic.
Right.
I look over, semi comes barely through. I missed tires 1 through 4, and I hit tires 5 and 6.
It's amazing you're able to count in that fast a moment.
6 tires on your bike?
No, the semi.
Yeah.
On the semi, okay?
Terry's correct. Yeah.
And, well, I bent my front tire.
Right.
This happened like about an hour and 5 minutes ago.
All right.
And if I was going any faster, I would have been road pizza.
Wow.
Wow.
So you
Not
were
to mention, I'm starting classes for spring quarter today.
We
so
would have taken the show on location to see that, Terry.
Yeah.
Swagger Road Pizza.
Did the truck stop or anything?
No, he just kept on going.
Kept going, knowing that he crushed your front tire of your Schwinn.
Yeah.
Now, why are you crossing? Why are you crossing on a red?
Yeah.
No. See, it was a red light for me to cross. See, it was red for the car for him to stop.
So it was green for you,
Yes.
red for him.
Yes.
Terry's got it.
Amazing.
Well,
that-
he says it's a red light for me to cross. That doesn't make
red
any
light-
sense.
What
Terry
sense
figured it
does that
out.
make?
Terry speaks swagger. Anyway,
Stop riding bicycles past the age of 12.
what about the little bell on your bike? Was that damaged
I
or
don't
no?
have a bell on
Oh,
my
of course
bike.
you do.
You're supposed to get off and walk
And there's
across, too, by
witnesses.
the way.
There's witnesses for this.
So did you get the license plate of the truck that almost ran you over?
Right.
I was a little bit in shock for a few seconds, and I didn't catch the license plate, okay?
Right.
When you're that close to a semi and your face almost touches the cargo, you're kind of
Yeah.
going to be in a little shock, aren't you?
What about the number of how do you think my driving is?
Yeah.
You get that
How's
number?
my driving?
Right.
No, I kind of wish I did. Look,
Everyone else around was driving perfect, but next time, just more of a direct hit, please.
Right.
Yeah, you could have been a millionaire if you'd have played your cards right.
Yeah, falling out in the middle of this
that's not
crosswalk.
what I needed on the first day of classes.
Well, it's your first day of your second semester, yes.
Well, third.
That was quite the spring
Third
break.
quarter.
Quite the spring break you had there, huh?
Woohoo, what'd
Oh,
you
yeah,
do?
I biked 22 miles.
All right.
Well, now that your
It was the
front end...
22nd mile that was almost the doozy, Terry.
And
What-
today I'm starting beginning acting.
Okay.
Oh, boy.
Something tells me you have been acting in some sense in many years.
So what do you do now
Acting
for
like a loser.
for transportation now that your
You nailed
bike
it.
wheel is like
Well,
all...
I'm getting money today from financial aid, so I'm going to get it fixed.
Wow.
Sorry about my
That's what it's for.
Yes.
You can always tell financial aid day in college. People have new sweatsuits and new radios and new shoes.
New beds.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to go make my doctor's appointment that I really need to make now.
All right.
Why?
Why? I haven't
Oh, for almost getting hit. I'm
He's
sorry.
got painful balls, Terry.
been a doctor since 7th grade.
Yes. And how's your painful
To a doctor since seventh
how's your
grade, that's
painful
great.
ball situation, given the fact that you're now a masturbator?
Arriba.
Can you say that again, please?
Oh, jeez. How is your painful ball syndrome now that you are amongst the masturbating community?
PBS.
No, I have homework paralysis syndrome. Thank you very much. That's HPS.
I'm not asking about that. I changed the subject if you haven't been listening over the past couple of seconds now.
trying to change at the same time.
Well,
You've told us you've had this medical condition, though.
Yes, now that you're amongst the masturbators of the world, and you admitted to that, how is your PBS, your painful ball syndrome?
Directly.
Don't just tell me. Tell everyone else in the school that's around you right now.
Well, there's nobody else here.
Oh. All right, well, then tell us. How is it?
I still hurt down there.
Mm-hmm. Well, this is something you might want to bring up with the doctor.
You think?
All right?
Tell him it was the semi.
Scale of 1 to 5, 5 being immense pain. How much do you still hurt down there when you
7?
When you really that much?
Like all the time, or just when you get busy with yourself?
Just when he gets busy with himself.
When I'm bike riding.
Oh, well, maybe you want to walk.
Well, you might want to look into that.
Free the balls.
Yeah, most of the time, adults don't ride bicycles.
Mm-hmm.
They're for kids.
Especially ones with PBS.
PBS. Don't women have that once a month?
No, that's PMS. But you have PBS, painful ball syndrome. Anyway.
Why don't you get the right kind of seat to cushion your ball?
All I know, they make those.
They do
Right,
make 'em.
cushioner. Yeah.
All I know is if I had painful ball syndrome, Terry, I'm not right. If my painful ball syndrome was on a scale of 1 to 5 or 7,
Yeah.
I'm not sitting there with my balls pressed up on a bike seat.
You're not. You're not.
I'm not always sitting down my bike.
Mm-hmm.
Well, but still, the pressure. Oh, forget it.
Have you taken it upon yourself to, even without our urging, to take matters in your own hands over the past number of weeks, or no?
I've been trying to see a doctor.
I'm not. All right.
It still hurts down there.
It hurts down there.
He doesn't answer my questions. I take that as a yes, Terry.
I do too.
Oh, yeah.
Because he gets embarrassed.
He's got his own apartment. We introduced him to the world of Jerkin the Gherkin. You know he's having some kind of, on a scale of 1 to 5, 7 little free-for-all moments happening in his apartment.
It's a little bit more regular
What
than.
the hell else do you think you did on spring break?
Yes.
You didn't go anywhere.
Oh, I
Well,
went on spring break. I went over to my dad's and did a lot of lawn work.
Well, that's what I'm sure every other college student did.
Free stuff.
Anyway, very nice.
All right.
All right, Schwags. You should have got some kind of identification on that truck. Maybe they could have gotten a little pot of gold there for his reckless driving and near-death-like experience he caused you to have to suffer there.
I'll just chalk that up to the rest of my near-death experiences I've had.
Oh,
I've had a few.
All right, put that in the file then.
Oh, yeah, I've never answered that question directly.
Okay, there he goes.
Yeah.
His phone was cut off at 7:10. Either that or the teacher that is going to be instructing Acting 101 pulled him by the neck into the classroom.
Could have, yeah.
What if he's the next Leonardo DiCaprio, Terry?
Wow.
And he just didn't know he had the talent for it.
Wow. Huh.
I mean, Leonardo started in Acting 101 at Olympic College, right?
I guess, sure. Olympic College.
Sure, many a great big screen kind of career started at Olympic College at Acting 101.
Yeah. I can see
It's
it.
a breeding ground for Oscar winners.
That's right. It's nice.
I thought he wanted to be a weatherman.
I did too.
Well, you got to be a good actor.
Okay, I guess.
Got to do stuff on the camera, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my God.
Step in the right direction.
Part of his major. It's all over it. There's your Schwager update, Terry.
Wow.
A lot of
thanks.
updates.
Yeah, tons.
Fascinating stuff. Still hurts down there. Andy Fraser?
Pretty much like that.
Yeah.
Still hurts down there.
Jessica Alba used her style to motivate young women at the Girls in the Director's Chair panel discussion.
Oh, jeez. Who recorded this? I wonder. Pasty, is this your doing? Jessica Alba story.
Wow.
Yes.
Go figure.
Jessica Alba used her style to motivate young women at the Girls in the Director's Chair panel discussion.
Is there a point? Has that point arrived? Yeah, you might want to hang up the phone there. Yeah. Is there a point where you start saying to yourself, okay, Jessica's a little passe. It's time for me to find the next person to worship, next person to obsess over and save myself for? Is that point ever come about, or are you just gonna, now that you're 29 going on 30, are you at the age where it's just Jessica for life?
It's going to be Jessica for life.
Really?
Whoa.
You haven't even considered moving on to somebody else?
I haven't seen anybody that has come close yet, so.
Is there anything she could do that would lose her favor?
Boy.
She could take a number 2 on his bed. He'd probably still be into her.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, she really.
Well, I think we all would be into her then. Squeezing out a heater on the bed. I mean, what a fantasy. Anyhow,
Sorry.
Pasty. What is the story about that you recorded here? Is this something interesting? Is it even remotely newsworthy? Am I wasting my time. Maybe you're loving it, but is it just a waste of time, or is this interesting?
There's Jessica Alba news out there, and we need to talk about it.
Well, what is it? You tell me. I want to hear it from you.
She is coming out saying that she is not going to be getting naked in the future and anything, basically.
She refuses to get naked.
Right. And she's talking to kids about that.
Being a good role model. She's one of the few good role models left in this world, Terry. He's picked quite the woman to obsess over.
Yeah.
Makes it difficult.
But you like that, though, right?
Believe me, I like that. I like that trait in her, yes.
You always want to obsess over a woman who won't get naked.
I guess so.
Many a man has.
Yeah, those little goody two-shoe girls in high school.
Exactly.
Oh, I hated them.
You just want to follow them wherever they go until the moment you take them down and never hear from them again.
Just show me.
Whoa.
I know they're under there. Torture me, Sarah Kinnish. Wow.
Oh, geez.
Sarah Kinnish. Whoa.
Wow.
Easy, dude.
Yes.
Still a little bitter about that, aren't we?
Wanted to eat her like a Kinnish, Terry. Or a Kinnish, no matter how you want to pronounce it. Yeah. Potato, potato. Anyway, want to hear this? This audio clip on Sarah Jessica Parker? What's her name? What's her name now? Jessica Alba refusing to get naked?
Yeah.
All right, let's listen.
Jessica Alba used her style to motivate young women at the Girls in the Director's Chair panel discussion.
Do you think that is exactly as she says, Terry, as this reporter says? Is it motivating to young women that Jessica refuses to get naked?
Yeah, I think so.
I don't know. You refuse to do anything. That's just kind of a hard-line stance there. I don't know if that's really inspiring.
But
refusing. Keep your mind open, baby!
Well, for some, it's about, self-respect for their body, and as women, not as...
So there's no price at which Jessica Alba caves?
I don't know.
She gets offered $1 billion by some sheik to get naked?
Sheik?
Well, sheiks have all that.
Yeah, they do.
She gets offered $1 billion to get naked. She doesn't do it?
I guess not, according to...
By some sheik?
What? No
some Mongol from Seattle.
Not only is he a sheik, Terry, but he's chic.
Oh, wow. Is chic?
Yes.
Whoa.
Freak out.
Whoa.
Oh, jeez. Stephen, she gets offered $1 billion by some sheik. Is she taking it off or what?
I think she is, yes.
So you're basically saying that everyone has a price?
I would think so,
That's a damn shame. Okay, let's listen.
Jessica Alba used her style to motivate young women at the Girls in the Director's Chair panel discussion.
Oh, I love that discussion.
Do ya?
Yes. What was it now?
The Girls in the Director's Chair.
Yes.
Panel or something.
A lot of girls out there in director's chairs. They're called wives.
Whoa!
Oh. That's complimentary. Women rule the world. Huh? Yeah.
Well,
I thought it was Samoans.
Well, I'm just wondering, Terry, if it's not for wives, where in Hollywood are there, besides Penny Marshall, women in director's chairs?
She's borderline woman, by the way.
That's the one I was going to throw at you.
Barely a woman on a lot of days, not even close. So,
well, you have Oprah directing stuff these days.
What is she directing?
Hasn't she done a...
Statman, go do that.
Okay.
Color Purple 2?
Yeah.
Well,
this time it's going to be awesome.
This time it's personal.
This time it almost turns blue.
Oh, jeez.
I don't know.
So I'm trying to figure out who the hell is a female director. All right.
To motivate young women at the Girls in the Director's Chair panel discussion. And when it comes to the entertainment business, Jessica had one warning.
They want you to take your clothes off all the time when you're a girl. I won't do that. So it's hard to stand your ground.
It's hard to stand your ground, but she's able to do it, I guess is the message.
That explains her mediocre roles.
Yeah, probably. But, she at least has self-pride, and that's okay.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah, well,
What's so prideful about keeping your clothes on?
Well, maybe that just for her morally, that's sticking to her morals and her values, and there's nothing wrong with that.
What an interesting perspective.
I mean, why sell out?
Shouldn't have to get naked just to make it.
Yeah.
I don't know. Have people looked under every rock in the history of her life? Maybe she doesn't get naked now. Pacey's looked under every rock in her life.
There's a naked pic. He's going to find it.
There wasn't one casting couch moment for Jessica Alba. She didn't need to. She's too hot. She's too beautiful. She's too great an actress.
Well.
They want you to take your clothes off all the time when you're a girl. I won't do that. So it's hard to stand your ground.
See, I resent that, Terry, because I think there are a lot of women out there that have just demanded me taking my clothes off many a time, Terry, and she just thinks it's for all girls.
Oh, really?
I can't tell you how many times, because never happened. How often I get asked to take off my clothes. Never
Probably
happened.
on a daily basis, right?
That's right. It's never happened. I think that she is making a generalization that isn't necessarily fair.
Well, but I don't understand why you don't think it's necessarily fair. I can understand.
Yeah,
I mean, in Hollywood, I mean,
how's the weather?
You know,
frolicking around in a swimsuit though in her last movie. I'm sure.
It's either that or Terry Free Weather me.
We want you to take your clothes off all the time when you're a girl.
Now, I don't think Cameron Manheim is getting demands for her to take her clothes off, Terry.
Oh, you never know.
How about that for the generalization gone bad?
Well,
if you're a hot
Kathy
girl,
Bates, dang.
well, that's why it was so newsworthy. Because what the hell is she doing taking her clothes off? That was
hot.
I kind of liked it for some reason.
All right, easy guys.
So I guess what they're pointing out is that anybody can get their ass to have their clothes be taken off.
She's such the warrior, Jessica Alba.
Well,
she keeps saying no.
but she does admit, it is tough.
Mm-hmm.
At least somebody's saying no.
Right.
But she stays strong.
She does.
What a role model.
She is.
What an inspiration.
Kudos to you.
Yeah, whatever.
Just get naked already and lay down, would you? Is that what you want to say?
Get naked. Nobody's impressed.
Oh.
Nobody's impressed with this hardline stance of not getting naked.
Well, has somebody like Jennifer Aniston or Julia
kidding?
Roberts, have they taken off their clothes and gotten naked?
You know how many
showed frontal and stuff?
How many directors, how many producers, how many big-time movie ballers they had to screw to get where they got, Terry?
Wow,
Come on.
really?
Think Jennifer Aniston really made it on her haircut? Come on.
Well, that's different. I bet she gets naked for those type of people.
Who?
Jessica Alba.
That's what I was asking. And everyone seems to be saying no, that she's made it in her career.
I wouldn't be surprised if there's something like that, but she's not done movies where she's naked.
So you
I understand that, but she's basically saying across the board she doesn't get naked for anyone when asked.
Well, I took it as in movies.
And that's why I even said there was never a casting couch back in the day that she got naked on. And everyone seemed to say no, that she's made it on her beauty and her unbelievable, immense talent.
Yeah, she's so talented.
Because I'll tell you what. You better not make that statement if you got naked on a casting couch at any point in your career.
Right.
You don't say that with a straight face unless you know there are no skeletons in your professional closet.
Right. That people can,
That'd be
call you
great.
out on. Sure, absolutely.
I don't know. But she showers in sweatsuits.
Listen, shower. I'm not getting naked for you.
Yes. Look, you person in the mirror, I know you want me to get naked. You're not going to fool me.
Right, I'm going to make it on my own.
Mm-hmm. She's so obsessed with not getting naked. She's such the inspiration. She can never get naked now, Terry.
Right.
Someone busts into her trailer. You're naked, you liar!
Come on now.
I understand. Huh? I just think she thinks she's overdoing, like, this pride factor of not getting naked. I mean, big deal. Shut up. All right, you didn't get naked.
All right, okay.
Not the greatest celebrated figure in all the history of the woman's world.
Right.
Although the last movie would have been a perfect one for that.
Yeah, the only reason the movie didn't do well because she didn't get naked. Into the Blue could have been a great DVD seller, Terry.
Yep, just look at her body, right?
No one's buying it because she doesn't get naked.
Not no one.
Mm-hmm.
That's all she's good at.
What's wrong with the naked body?
Hot body chick, that's it.
They want you to take your clothes off all the time when you're a girl. I won't do that.
All the little girls that she's motivating are giggling, Terry. Yeah, they do. My teacher just asked me 10 minutes ago before we came into this big assembly.
Wow.
Shh, keep it down.
Right.
So it's hard to stand your ground.
There it is.
She should have said, so I'm going to ask you all to do it right now.
Oh, jeez.
Because I'm the big star and you guys are nothing. So get naked for me. Well, that's good work by Jessica Alba.
I think so, sure. I mean,
You would have liked your daughter at age 10 to be in that assembly, to be
absolutely.
motivated by a woman who stood her ground and made it big?
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Mm.
I don't see anything wrong with it.
Has she made it big?
She's made it big enough?
Big enough, yeah.
Right.
She's known. Yeah.
But you're expecting your daughters will need to show their bosoms from time to time to get by.
I hope not.
Oh, jeez.
But the last couple of best actresses have all gone naked.
Secret to Steven's success, Terry. Whenever necessary, he shows his bosoms.
Wow.
Here they are now.
Mm-hmm.
Whoa. Rub him up against the mic.
That's why we make him work in a private room, because he's so conditioned to do it, Terry, that they'll come out without any warning.
Well,
He's got nice bosoms.
Wow.
his nipples were, how did you phrase it? Stephen?
Pounding.
Pounding through the club shirt.
There it is. What else is going on in the world, Terry, please?
Talk about ruining how hot it was about Jessica Alba. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, at least with Jessica Alba, you don't have to pry the hair aside to see the bosoms.
I have an update
Well, you
for
wouldn't
you.
know. She's never naked.
Oh, maybe she does have hair?
Mm-hmm.
No way, dude.
I have an update for you about David Hasselhoff's divorce.
Yes.
According to his wife, Pamela Bach.
Terry, my wife was in the streak where she was shaving my chest, right?
Yeah.
And now that she's it's a little kind of face that is phased out.
Yeah?
Now when it starts growing back,
It's just
it gets
worse.
really itchy and stuff.
Yes,
So
yes.
I have to, shave my own chest now.
Okay.
Just thought I'd give you a little tidbit.
Thank you.
Yeah.
T-Man tidbit.
Mm-hmm.
Shave your chest.
I can't get over the hump
Of the itch?
of that portion of time, that week or two that I have to sit through where my chest is all itchy and I just pass it and then allow my chest hair to grow back. So so under the shirt here, Terry,
Yeah, you're bare.
is a bare-chested man.
Wow.
Underage looking.
Wow. Bare as a baby's
Did you
ass.
say that out loud?
Yeah, I guess I did. I didn't mean to.
Just so you know.
Okay.
All right.
Well, thank you for informing me of that.
All right.
I was trying to inform you about David Hasselhoff's little, divorce here and how ugly it's getting.
Yes.
According to his
he
wife.
threatens his own wife, doesn't
Well,
he?
supposedly, yeah, and supposedly not only threatens,
Right.
but also broke her nose and called her the C word.
He broke her nose and called her a bunt?
Uh-huh.
'Cause that's the C word, Terry.
Yes, I know it
right.
is.
Even though it
Uh-huh.
starts with a B.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Also, she claims
Now, every
that-
guy's wanted has actually thought of doing that. But the little man inside you says, this won't be good for my record or my marriage.
Right.
So you don't do that if you're a good person, Terry.
Right.
You don't break your wife's nose
Right.
and call her the C word.
Right, you don't.
Just put up with the stupid stories.
Stephen, you know that, right?
I think that's pretty clear.
Okay,
yeah.
good. I just want to make sure you're aware of that.
Yeah.
You got that memo. You don't do that.
Oh, we learned it in marriage class.
Mm-hmm. First thing they teach you in marriage class, they sit you down and say, okay, before we get started, just so everyone knows, and you should know this already, don't call your wife the C word or break her nose. Okay, let's move on now.
Well, that's don't, not do.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on a second. Okay, I got it. What's next?
So David Hasselhoff, singer to the stars,
Oh,
Baywatch extraordinaire,
yes.
performer, is a nose-breaking C-word calling husband?
Yeah, according to his wife. Not only did he call her the C word, he also used bitch, slut, and called her a drug addict as well. So, yeah.
Is she on drugs?
Apparently she
never
does
touched
do prescription drugs, but I don't, supposedly not addicted. She claims she's
Right.
not.
Everybody claims that.
Yeah.
It's fully under control here.
Well, if the prescription has your name on it, I mean,
I guess, yeah.
you're not a drug addict, right?
What if it has someone else's name on it?
Well, that's a problem.
Okay.
So anyway, and we all know that she tried to file a restraining order against him, which was denied. However, there is some kind of temporary order on him. But
fact that
it's all just getting ugly.
When you go to your medicine cabinet, you have to go through 16 bottles to actually find one with your name on it. Is a problem.
Bob Schmigel in a lot of pain. He's been in pain for years.
Harry Wong really takes the strong stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. And now,
Harry Wong.
Yeah, Harry Wong is a good friend of mine. Anyhow.
A good name for a Chinese porn star.
Wow.
Or non-Chinese. Anyhow. Harry Wong, yeah. Now, Terry.
Oh, my gosh, yes.
It's safe to say David Hasselhoff and his wife are going to have to part at this point in time, or what?
Yeah, well, they
They
already are separated. They're
I
just
see.
going through the divorce, and it's just ugly
And
as ever.
once the divorce proceedings start illustrating how he called her this and broke that, that ruins any possibility for reconciliation. Is that fair to say?
I would say, yeah.
Mm.
I don't think they're going to try and, make it back.
Do you believe that David Hasselhoff has in him the ability to break his own wife's nose and call her the C word, Terry?
Yes.
Really?
I do.
Because you think it's possible for any man, or you just see something in David Hasselhoff, or...
I think
Such a sunny disposition.
He seems so cheery, Terry.
He does, and
it's the
he's-
cheery ones you got to watch out for?
yeah, I mean, kind of like Steven. He's so sweet and innocent and comes
So
across
Steven,
as
wow, so you're basically telling me
Come across.
that if Steven one day broke his wife's nose and called her the C word, you wouldn't be shocked?
No, I wouldn't.
Wow!
I think.
Wow!
I think. I mean, granted, I think it would take quite a bit to push him to that edge.
Mm-hmm.
But I think once
Whoa.
pushed, Sure, he's going to let loose.
So what you're saying is that would make her deserve it.
So it would be okay then.
Yeah.
No.
She really did something to him.
Yeah, one foul word and it's over.
Shouldn't have that same just exuberant reaction to when he pulls his boobs out.
No.
No question about that.
I mean, don't you think, David Hasselhoff and Stephen Kilbreth, the same type of guys,
Type C personalities?
Yeah, their persona with the public is pretty much the same.
Wow.
Happy-go-lucky, great guys, hairy chests.
Both like running on the beach?
Yeah, both of them.
Both big in Germany.
Yes. Both having unsuccessful pay-per-view specials?
Right.
Stephen, I really thought you were going to make a go of that.
Well,
anyway.
I mean, both of them, their singing careers,
He broke her nose and called her the C word.
That's the allegations, of course.
Well, is she on record in some emergency room for a broken nose or not? Is she on record in some emergency room for treatment for the C word or not?
No, it doesn't say in my story that there was actual hospital, papers that say that she had a broken nose. But these are all allegations. This is all the ugly stuff coming out during the divorce.
Oh, this is the ugly stuff?
Yeah.
I see. Well, we'll have to...
16 years of marriage there,
We'll have to assume that it happened. Yeah, 16 years of marriage, it had to have happened. Yeah.
I guess sometime.
Anyhow.
She had it coming.
Stephen, are you just going to assume that she's not lying, that she was called the C word and got her nose broken, and we can move on, or what?
I would like to see the proof that she was in the hospital, because there's got to be some reason
Well, you get a broken nose. Do you go rushing to the emergency room, or what? I've gotten my nose broken. I can go rushing to the emergency room. Anyhow.
Maybe you have to have it reset.
Yeah, you get it reset at where did I get it reset at?
Bartels? You just walk in?
That's pretty much where I got it reset, yeah.
Nose setters are us.
Well, I got my nose broken in a college fight, and I went to some nose guy, I guess.
Which is a doctor, right?
Yeah, I'm assuming he was a doctor, yeah.
Right, okay.
I mean, he did touch me there, yeah, so, yeah.
That's not my nose.
Well, the other thing, too, is that maybe she was embarrassed, David Hasselhoff's wife. You don't want to...
All right.
She's probably more embarrassed about being David Hasselhoff's wife than having her nose broken.
She didn't even take his last name.
Speaking of the utmost embarrassment, are you aware, Terry, that we have 4 tickets to give away to the Global Import Car Show that's back again?
4?
Whoa!
4 tickets.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Tacoma Dome, Saturday, May 13th. Chamillionaire is going to be there, Terry.
Oh, cool. Nice.
Or if you read it phonetically, it's Chamillionaire. Yes. No more appropriate artist than the dude singing Riding Dirty, right? At the Global Import. They got a couple of nice names here. Chamillionaire, Lil Flip. They're all going to be at the car show this time around.
Nice.
Someone's going to have a chance to win $93,000 at the car show this time around.
They're spinning the rim?
And we will get the rim started this morning by having Steven spin it as only he can do. And we'll give away 4 tickets to the car show just like that.
Wow.
No delays, no fuss, no muss.
Cool.
Man. Steven is the king of the rim job.
So the question is, with that in mind, Steven.
Yes.
Why don't you clear the throat and spin the rim wherever it lands? The person gets 4 tickets to the Global Import and Domestic Car Show on May 13th, Saturday at the Tacoma Dome. Woo-hoo. Give her a whirl. Hey, let's go to the car show, the car show, spin the ring, and a rim job, looking car to the flip. Chameleon, chameleon, come and do.
You got him all. He can't even go.
Definitely spring training for the wheel.
Yeah, it is.
The rim started laughing?
Yeah.
The rim is a little rusty, it sounds like.
The rim got off track.
It's a little sick.
Bring up an 80s song. Oh, you weren't laughing at Come Chameleon? Anyway.
Yeah, I was.
Oh, you were? Okay. Did the rim stop?
There's a guy who rides dirty.
Oh, just. I didn't hear. Is the rim done or not?
No, we need to respin.
Okay, we're going to respin. We're going to spin the rim, Terry, wherever it lands. The person wins 4 tickets. Now the rim is spinning. There it goes. Oh, it's flipping. It's who wants to go to the car show? Who wants to go to the car show? Tacoma Dome, T-Town, Roma, Tacoma.
Wow, what was that?
He peters out like that, Terry. Story of his life. Tasha!
Wow.
Yes.
The rim has landed directly on you.
Oh, wow. Thank you so much.
Well, doesn't mean anything as of yet. We have to
not yet? Okay.
Find out a little bit about you. Who are you, Tasha?
I'm a student and I go to work.
Aren't we all? Huh? And where are you from, Tasha?
Renton?
You're from Renton. Have you ever
Yes.
been to a car show before?
Yes.
What car show have you been to?
Oh, it was a couple years ago, that Hot Import Nights one.
You're a car show kind of girl. You get everything out of it that a car show patron should get, and whatever that is.
Well, on that one, I was kind of disappointed on that one, but, I mean, yeah, some of them are nice.
We don't leave you with that kind of bad taste in your mouth. So, this car show is really going to disappoint her, Terry. So, we got to finish the job.
Good.
No, it's going to be spectacular. What? Yeah, it's going to be really good, Tasha. And you have just won 4 tickets. How does that sound? Wow.
Sounds wonderful. Thank you, T-Man.
Yes. That sounds good for you?
Yes, it does.
You didn't have plans on May 13th?
Not anymore. I do now. I have that one.
She had big plans, but she just canceled.
Right.
What'd you cancel so you can go to the car show, Tasha?
Oh, no. Probably dinner or something. I don't know. I'll cancel anything.
She planned on eating dinner that
Wow,
night.
that's good.
Oh, that's weird. I eat dinner every
Well,
night.
yeah, you could take your Swanson frozen dinner to the car show and have it there. Anyway, because that's what I eat on Saturday night.
Wow.
I love the little Salisbury steak.
Yes. It's probably a good thing for you to have specified small portions, Stephen. Anyway, Tasha, we're going to put you on hold, and we're going to give you information on where you can pick up your 4 passes free of charge to the car show, baby.
Thank you, thank you.
And maybe you leave the car show with $93,000. Would that be nice?
Oh, that'd be beautiful. Thank
Okay,
you so
probably
much.
won't happen, but hang on.
Well, at least she has a chance, right?
Everyone has a chance.
Everybody.
Tasha, congratulations, our first winner.
All right.
Yeah. What do you think about Mustangs? I'll clean the McDonald's wrappers up first.
There it is. He's a car show within himself, Jerry.
He is.
He's Pasty Dave.
The T-Man.
It's 7:47 now at Cube 93. Time for your news update. The traffic tie-up on the Narrows Bridge is going to last through morning drive. The DOT says it's going to take several hours to remove a 50-foot crane that tipped over and is hanging over the edge, only one lane moving in each direction. Aaron Kyle Huff lived with his twin brother and delivered pizzas since he moved to Seattle from Montana. An apartment manager called Huff and his brother ideal tenants, calling them twin teddy bears. Huff is responsible for killing 6 people and himself Saturday night at a Capitol Hill party. Police still searching for a motive. Chimacum High School principal Rex Whipple has pleaded not guilty to a voyeurism charge. On Friday, his lawyer vowed to prove that someone else filmed and placed homemade videos of naked teenage girl on a school district-issued computer. In sports, the Mariners lost to the Angels yesterday, 15-4. They were outscored the day before, 20-8. Opening day is April 3rd. Hopefully they'll figure out their pitching situation. The Sonics beat the Spurs last night, 106-102. The Final Four is set: LSU, UCLA, Florida, and George Mason. The first time in 26 years a number 1 seed has failed to reach the Final Four. Occasional high clouds. Highs will be in the mid to upper 50s today, and that's your news update on Seattle's number 1 hit music station, Cube 93.
T-Man on Cube 93.
Why can't I turn off the rain?
Is Paris Hilton a single girl? Rumors have been swirling that the heiress dumped boy toy Stavros Niarchos, but it looks like she's ready to put all that nonsense to rest. The two were very much together on Wednesday, holding hands and doing a little shopping at Virgin Record Store in Hollywood.
Yeah.
Maybe this is true love after all.
Yeah, Paris and shopping is true love after all, no doubt about it. Anyway.
That's for sure. I heard her and Paris Lactis had gotten back together again.
Really?
Yeah.
A lot of rumors.
Yeah,
Nobody
I know.
cares. Anyway, give me one quick story. What do you have there?
I don't know.
Why is John still the hotline after all this time?
He's needing help.
Mm-hmm.
That's what he does.
That's what.
That is what he does. All right, what's your...
I don't know
story?
how quick this story will be once
All
you
right,
hear
well,
it.
we might be up against another break, but give it to me.
Okay.
Geez. Then give me the story, and maybe we'll have to talk about it as we proceed on with the morning, Terry.
All right.
Give me an idea what it's about.
It is about a sexual disorder for the women out there.
Sexual disorders for women. Yeah, that takes at least a half-hour discussion.
Well, this one is called persistent sexual arousal syndrome.
Persistent sexual arousal syndrome.
Yes.
It's not coming from me, Terry. Let me just put it that way.
Well, and actually, you're right. It's not coming
I'm not
from
the
you.
cause.
No, you're not. It's actually, men cannot get it
Uh-huh.
at all. Only women. It's PSAS for short.
Pass ass?
No. PSAS.
Yes.
And it causes women to be sexually aroused for days.
Well, men can have that. Men, they say some of these sexual aids that men are taking these days, that I hear so much about.
Yeah.
Like the Viagra's of the world. What else is there? The Citrus or the
Levitra,
Cialis, or Cialis and Levitra.
Mm-hmm.
they can have side effects where you stay in an aroused-like state for days.
Yes, but that's
very painful, from what I would imagine, Terry.
right. And so is this for the ladies, but this is not due to a pill or anything.
Well, what would be the symptoms? Obviously, it's clear what men's symptoms would be if they're aroused for long periods of time. They would be all hardened up. And what would the woman's situation be if she's aroused? She's be like wet for days?
No, well, this is what they say. They say that your parts down there will be throbbing, and you'll get tingling. Sensation.
Mm-hmm.
And it'll, like I said, continue for days. And it does.
That would continue for days.
Yes,
the tingling.
Non-stop. I mean, it doesn't, no orgasm.
But the tingling and the swelling would continue for days.
Right.
Well, any woman right now experiencing this situation, call in and we'll be able to cure it for you, I'm sure.
Yeah, come on down. One look at us, you'll be cured.
I'm afraid you're going to get Marie to call in or something.
And if that doesn't work, we may have to do more of a hands-on curing-like functionality here.
Yeah, I guess so.
That's right.
But they say that...
Believe me, you'll be cured for the rest of your life.
Says here that the PSAS occurs when a woman becomes involuntarily aroused for extended periods of time in the absence of sexual desire. This arousal is highly distressing as it is unprovoked and unrelieved by orgasm.
Inexplicable.
That is a direct quote, by
inexplicable
the way.
arousal. Nothing causing, nothing that you can put your finger on.
Right. Well, even women who put their finger on it cannot be relieved of it. Dr. David Goldmeyer.
What do you need, John?
T-Man, I want to know if you can help me or not.
Help you how?
Pay my goddamn rent for at least a couple months so I can freaking still have a roof over my head so I can participate in the program.
All right, well, we just informed you. Don't threaten us about participation in the program. It does nothing for us.
Right.
Terry.
I do a lot of things for you, T-Man.
Listen to me carefully, John. And don't get into that.
I'm still getting aroused.
All right, listen. Terry, as you read your eviction letter earlier this morning, for those just tuning in, you missed a doozy there. Terry, being the building manager that she was for many years, made it clear to you that eviction letter is in no way going to be a situation where even if you pay your rent, your back rent that you owe, you're still going to be kicked out of your place.
No, I won't. Because Kim at the apartment complex where I live, the manager, if I pay, it will be all dropped.
John, you have to go to court, right? You got a court document on it, right?
I don't have time for all this right now, okay?
Oh, my gosh.
We'll talk about PSAS in more depth. Because I have some thoughts on this, Terry.
Do you?
Yeah, during the break I'll figure out what they are. And
PSAS.
And as far as John not having a roof over his head, I mean, I don't know if that's shown to help at all.
What are we, the Red Cross now? Leave us alone.
See what I've done here, Terry? Everyone's got their hand. I don't know where. Anyway.
Well, it would have been better to give Gay only $14,000 and then John could have $1,000 here.
Okay, maybe Gay will give $1,000 back and we'll just call it.
The T-Man.
What a game this was, as they took them to overtime, took the number 1 seed UConn Huskies to overtime, but yet couldn't get the job done in the end. Here at the Ram, where I'm stationed, Husky fans just feeling like they thought they had it, maybe a call going one way or the other.
Again, Terry, they had it. It's another case of a local team that you're just die hard for, outplaying the opponent, beating the opponent, but losing the game.
Yeah,
do I need to put up another billboard? That's what I was thinking towards the end of that game. Is that what I need to do?
Well,
because UConn shot 47 free throws or somewhere in that neighborhood. 6 UW players fouled out. Not one UConn player. I mean, I'm just not one to continue to be the pointer of the finger, you know?
Right.
I'd rather you just pull it and give
See
me a little
what
relief,
happens.
Terry. But, I mean, come on.
Well,
doesn't leave as bitter a feeling as the Super Bowl. Because at least when it came down to it, they needed to make a big shot. The UConn Huskies did. And they made it. 1 second left. Make a three-pointer. They made it. So that gave me a little feeling of, all right, in some sense, they pulled one out of the fire and they earned it to some extent. But would one official in this country please give us a break?
How about a goaltending, too, by the way?
Geez. Yeah, I mean, was there ever a more clear-cut textbook example of goaltending? There's so many things that go on, you forget about these things. I forgot about that, too.
Yeah.
That would have put the Huskies up by 1 in overtime. That changes the complexion of overtime.
Well, Jensen doesn't foul the guy when he shoots the lane.
Or take him down.
Jensen did not belong in the game at that point in time, Terry. And he even knew it. He looked like he knew it out there.
It's like, oops.
But they had so many people in foul trouble. And
yeah. What do you do?
They put Burmeister in and they were still in it. It's great.
All right. Well, we're all moving on.
Okay.
The fact that UConn lost to George Mason was
enough.
Revenge enough, yes.
Just call me when football starts.
Wow, you're
I'll be
totally
home.
out now.
Yeah, done.
So you can get ready for your 2-10 season.
That's right.
What else is going on?
They'll win more this year.
You're telling me about PMSS.
No, PSAS.
PSAS. It's a new syndrome that is finally being documented. It's finally being recognized in the medical books of our world.
It's actually been documented for several years, but this is the first time that they've officially recognized it and put a label on it.
Because that's the first step, is being documented. Then someone has to recognize it. Oh, here it is. Yes. I'm reading it now.
Don't I know you from somewhere?
Oh, jeez.
Oh, you're that disease.
Now, remember, too, that PSAS is for ladies only.
It's for ladies only,
Yeah,
yes.
for ladies only.
Well-
and it happens when the body is turned on, even if the brain isn't. So it's like no control.
Well, men get that all. There's the male equivalent of that is just called being a man, Terry. The body is turned on, even if the mind isn't.
Right.
Right.
And
it goes on for
days or
serious periods of time.
Right.
And there's no known cure.
Right. No known cure. And
Even if you were to give a woman the most ultimate orgasm, it doesn't cure her? Is that what you're telling me?
Right.
Not that we could, but
In
even
fact-
if you did, it wouldn't cure her of this PMSS.
PSAS.
PSAS, that's right.
Right. In fact, there's one woman.
But who do you know anyone that's had this? This never-ending, or at least seeming like it's never-ending stream of arousal, an aroused state that lasts for day after day after day?
No.
I mean, in order for it to be a clinical case of PSAS, it has to last for how long? What's the
day? Well, they say for extended period of time.
meaning? What?
Couple days, weeks? I don't know. Several days. Yeah.
So you're in an aroused sexual state for several days.
Right.
And no orgasm is going to all of a sudden send you back to your...
Nothing can relieve it at all.
Your neutral state.
Right.
I can gyrate on you for the next 90 seconds. And it's not going to help.
Yeah, and they even have one case where this one woman would have multiple orgasms from her husband.
Lucky her.
And still no relief.
No relief.
None. Zero.
Guy just gave her multiple orgasms. He's completely spent. Looking up at her like he's the greatest hero in the world, and she's just sitting there like, you got more? Come on. That's what you need.
Bring it on.
That's what you... Why do I get the sense that the women that have this disease, the women that suffer from this syndrome, Terry, are just not hot? Why do I get the sense that women that suffer from PSAS, why do I get the sense that they're real hefty women?
I don't know.
Why do I just have that visual, Terry?
I don't know. I mean, they do document a 22-year-old woman, a 61-year-old woman. So, I mean...
Minimum of 280 each.
Wow. Because you think you can please hot women. That's why you think that, probably.
No, I don't know why it is, and I can guarantee you that's not the reason.
Hot women just don't suffer from syndromes such as this?
I don't think hot women suffer from syndromes. I don't think there's really... This is like this way hot woman. It's just like... I'm in this never-ending state of arousal. I need somebody to do something to me quick.
Yeah, doesn't seem right.
Is it with all disease that only ugly people have?
It's with hair on the face, hefty women, Terry, walking around with PSAS. And what does PSAS stand for again?
It stands for Persistent Sexual Arousal Syndrome.
And who do you know that's had it?
Nobody. And they even say that this is a very rare sexual disorder.
But why are we even talking about it?
Well, because they've now recognized
it. If a woman has it, does she talk about it, or is she embarrassed of it to the point where she doesn't even let anyone know, but she's going to the bathroom 17 times a day during the work day to take care of her? Because I would think, even though you say that an orgasm wouldn't help the situation, an orgasm is still what you desire when you're in that state, whether your brain wants it or not. Your body is begging for a little bit of arousal.
Right, for a little relief somewhere.
You're at your cubicle with PASS. You got to excuse yourself to the bathroom so you can do a little finger dilly, right?
Right. Absolutely.
And I know what's going on with the women. I speak for all women with PSAS there.
PSAS?
Yeah, same thing.
Don't mind me, got the pass ass.
Like I said, I would think that a lot of women probably didn't realize that they have it. So
you don't realize you have it. Something tells me this is one of those things.
Rare. I mean, there are times that you have something. You're like going,
they don't know what they have.
Yeah, they don't know what it is.
But they know something's wrong with them.
Yeah. And so they're like going, maybe I'm crazy.
As Stephen just said, you excuse yourself in the boardroom meeting. Oh, don't mind me. I have pass ass.
Pizzazz.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's not pizzazz.
Yeah. So maybe, with it coming out and being documented now and actually recognized, more women will actually can go to the doctor and
that's what I had last week when I had to spend the week in bed.
Right. This one woman, she got it, just right before, while she was her premenstrual, and she would get it really, really bad days prior to that.
Is there something that they're signaling, they're targeting that brings it on, like a bad peach maybe you eat, and all of a sudden you got pass ass or what?
No, they just...
May I see the story?
You can.
People around here are thinking it's just like a hangover from WSU. It's a real disease.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
This crap story. Oh, it's from ABC News.
It is.
A reputable source. Mm-hmm.
And it's documented. I can't remember the title of the journal that it's the STD journal something.
Oh, jeez. It's the International Journal of STD and AIDS.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good reading little pamphlet there.
Yeah. Oh, chapter 5 is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Real cliffhanger.
Yes. Very nice.
Mm-hmm.
Very interesting.
Very.
Highly distressing for women who are either currently undergoing or have undergone pass ass. Mm-hmm. It's unprovoked, and it's not able to be relieved by any known method.
Right.
There's no man out there who's established himself as the cure for pass ass.
No man, no medication.
So women have described it as, quote, unbearable.
Whoa.
As precious parts of their body begin throbbing, and there are areas of their private area, Terry, that is quite tender, as one woman described it.
Yes.
Tender?
Even insanely painful and distracting.
Right.
Huh. They quote a 61-year-old woman here, Terry. Did you mention her? I think you might have.
I said she was 61. There was another one, 22.
Who thought that her husband could relieve the syndrome through a renewal of lovemaking that they probably hadn't done for 30 years, Terry.
But no. Can't be done.
Nothing rid her of her pass ass except time.
Right.
Must be difficult when you get it at that age.
Yeah, I know.
Described here as a giant hassle.
Giant hassle. Well, sure.
Or maybe that's the name of her vibrator. I don't know. Yes.
Continues on the next line. Hoff.
Oh, jeez. I don't get it. Anyhow.
Giant Hasselhoff.
Okay. Got it now.
That's just my fantasy.
Yeah, sounds like it.
No known cure.
Right.
And I don't know anyone, Terry, that's ever told me about this syndrome. You don't know anyone.
No, you're right. But again, that's probably because, A, they may not know what exactly is wrong with him. B, they may know and they're just too embarrassed to really, talk about it because they know there's no cure. So what do you do? It's not like you stand up there making an announcement when you're in pain because you're throbbing.
Now that there is a clinical name for your syndrome, now that it's on record, now that it's been chronicled, now that it's been put into a journal, now maybe women can call in and say, yes, T-Man, back in 97, I had a full week of pass ass and I didn't know what the hell was wrong with me.
Well, there you go. Now I do. You described it to a T.
Do you think any listener is going to call in right now and discuss their moments of dealing with PASS without joking about it? Yes.
You never know.
And if they,
it wouldn't surprise me.
And if that's the case, do we want to hear about it?
Well, I don't know.
Well, the phone lines have just been opened at 1-866-663-T-MAN.
I mean, we've listened to many things that we may not want to hear about, but
1-866-663-T, 1-866-663-T-MAN. The first person that wants to discuss this syndrome is on the hotline. Yes, go ahead.
You know what? right there, Terry. When was the last time you stood before you got in vitro?
Right, exactly.
Great question. I wonder where that fits into the...
So good.
Last time you stood before you got in vitro.
Yes.
Well, let's see. I stand every day in my house that I have.
I wonder... Oh, that's good. I wonder where that fits into the clinical description of the new documented disease that's put in the journal here. Yeah. In vitro. How that plays
Some
in.
cockamamie reason to give people more medication.
Well, but there's
It's not a real thing.
there's no medicine for
It's not a real thing?
I don't think so. Nonsense. Snake oil. Stupid.
They're not saying that they've come up with a
Just
cure.
because you're horny doesn't mean it's a disease.
Yeah, people need a reason for their problems. Sometimes
So you don't
things
believe
just happen.
in sexually addicted people either?
Well, we have Andrea on the line who believes she's currently suffering from it right now.
Whoa! Put her on. Maybe it's real.
Andrea? Andrea. Oh, jeez. Suffering out of so much she couldn't keep her cell phone to her ear, Terry.
Right.
She had to put it in other places. Oh, Tim, it's just too painful. I gotta go. Call me back, vibrated. Oh, jeez.
Whoa!
I don't know what happened to Andrea. She dropped off the line, Terry. She sounded like she was beginning to talk.
Yeah.
Let's go to Renee, who has a comment.
Hello?
Renee? Yes, Renee.
Hi.
We're talking about PSAS this morning. Yes, your comment.
You know, if you have a one-night stand with someone and you kind of regret it midway through, you have the same feelings.
Really?
Yeah.
So you equate it to the guilt feeling of lowering yourself to a one-night stand with a loser.
Either that.
All right, we can't say that on the air, Renee, but thanks for that.
Plenty of girls have said that with me. Oh, wait a minute.
Now, Renee, I know you kind of feel bad during those times when you have one-night stands with all the losers that you have, but not the same thing, Renee.
No.
It's totally the same thing, especially if you've only had, like, one or two.
No, not even close, Renee.
What are you even
Doesn't go for this.
I know you want a clinical description for what you're suffering from in your mind, but I know you want it to be some kind of syndrome that you can't control, but you just have low standards, and even after you're done, you feel horrible about it, and that's the way you live your life. But
Whoritis complex 3.
It's called SLUT.
Yes. Whoritis complex 3 is something we'll discuss on tomorrow morning's show.
Nice.
So maybe you're 24 hours early with your call, and you just have a little psychic thing going on there, too, because I don't see how there's any way you can compare
correlation there.
PASS, Terry, PSAS, with whoritis complex 3.
Nah,
By the way, how do you know it's a one-night stand halfway through?
Okay.
Maybe you'll see him tomorrow.
Yeah, maybe.
Because
You could fall in love, yeah.
he's walking out the door halfway through.
Okay, well, that might be.
David.
Don't know his name.
Yes.
David has a comment.
Oh, nice.
Good. How you doing today?
I'm doing fine. Thank you for asking.
Good. Listen, I got a question. Is it possible that PSAS is something invented by men who just can't seem to satisfy their women anyways, and they just pin it on the woman this way, and that way it's their fault instead of the man's?
Well, there's physical characteristics of PASS that can't be overlooked, unfortunately. It's swelling, it's throbbing,
tingling,
it's
intense.
Tenderness.
Intense.
Yeah, well, I have
It's
the
like-
same thing when I watch HBO, but I don't blame it on women.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but does yours last for over a 48-hour period, a 72-hour period? I mean, any man who's been in an aroused state for more than an hour is going to feel a tad bit of pain.
Right.
Yeah, I agree, but it just seems like something that I bet all the doctors who studied this are men. And did the women try other men besides their husband or just one guy to get the satisfaction they're looking for?
The bottom line here, Terry, is it doesn't seem like people are buying this.
I know. Obviously not. I mean, and it has nothing to. I mean, one lady in there, a 22-year-old who has it. It was all self gratification for her.
Mm-hmm.
It had nothing to do with a man. She was. I mean, she even got fired from her job because she had to keep
I'm reading
being
about this here.
excused from.
Well, she felt that she could cure herself by
continually,
taking matters into her own hand, and she got fired from her job, so she says, because she was, as I described, maybe I subconsciously read this, she was in the bathroom jilling herself about 12 times a day, Terry. Now, Stephen, have you ever had a Woody for more than a day?
No, I wouldn't imagine so.
Would imagine so.
What was the longest, as you look into your entire history, as you rehash and look over the memory banks there, Stephen, the longest you recall being in an aroused, erect state? Longest period of time.
I'm not sure.
Well, give me a ballpark.
I can't imagine it being very long.
Geez. Is it 5 minutes? Is it a half hour? Is it an hour? What is it?
I don't even think about
6
things like that,
hours.
so I don't even know.
Well, I mean, give me a
Probably
ballpark.
not 6 hours is my guess.
Mm-hmm. Less than 6 hours. Okay, we're getting warmer.
Yeah.
Is it, less than 3 hours?
Yeah, probably.
Less than 2 hours?
Probably so.
Less than an hour? See how easy this
Probably
is?
so.
Less than 45 minutes?
Yes.
Less than a half hour?
I would say a good half hour.
Aha!
Good half
So
hour.
there we are. You thought it over, and you
I have no
recall
idea.
the longest period of time you were ever with an erection.
What about
was
you? Do you remember?
1/2 hour.
Did you
Yeah,
keep a-
there
did you keep
was
a chart?
There was actually a point that I remember it got to a real pain situation. I was begging for it to go down. That was a long time ago now.
Mm-hmm.
You were begging. You
don't
were
worry
pleading
about
with it.
Yeah, I don't remember
Please go
worrying.
down.
I don't remember worrying about that in my 30s.
Yeah, it's the other way
I
up.
was like 18.
Please go up. This doesn't normally happen to me, I swear.
I have this pill bottle right here.
I want my money
Don't
back.
make me.
Right.
Tamilia.
Yes.
Amelia.
Yes, Tamilia. What can we do for you?
I have a question about this new disease thing.
Everyone has questions, Terry. I asked if anyone has ever suffered from it.
Right.
So far, there's no
I
one
mean,
on the phone
not
lines.
that I know of, but I just want to know, do you just like wake up one day and then all of a sudden you're just aroused for a month or whatever?
Well, that's the...
I don't think it's necessarily a month.
That's the rub, Tamilia. No one knows how it begins. There's no pinpointing as to what brought it on. There's no time frame. There's no portion of the day that is more common for it coming about as opposed to others. It just happens. It lasts for an undetermined period of time, but at least about 48 hours, I think we've determined here.
At least, uh-huh.
Nothing is causing it necessarily, and it just won't go away. And then when it finally does, there's no real reason for it subsiding.
We don't know where it evolved.
I guess it just is all like the Big Bang Theory.
So you never get any pleasure out of it? You just kind of...
On the contrary there, Tamilia, you get displeasure from it. It's a horrible condition for women who have been asked about it, and they say they wouldn't wish it on their worst enemy.
This side's tingling. It's really working.
It's not like Desinex. Is that what that is?
Denerex.
Yeah.
Denerex.
Close.
Oh, I thought... Okay.
Yes.
Well, okay,
It's not like
thank
something
you.
that they look forward to and go, oh, goody,
Yeah,
it's
right,
the
party time.
PSAS, woohoo!
If they could eject you with it and they needed some, like, guinea pig for a study, would you volunteer yourself, Tamilia, or no?
I mean, I would try to volunteer because I would think you get pleasure out of being aroused all the time.
But nonstop, and it's painful, too.
It's nonstop, never-ending, aroused-like symptoms for a 2-day or more period. Don't think the
I
word
mean,
period.
it couldn't be worse than giving birth.
Well,
Interesting.
So why would you want it?
I mean, I don't know. I don't want it necessarily,
I think
but
you
I
do.
mean...
I think you really do, Tamilia. I think you not only want it, you need it.
yeah, I think she's looking for some pleasure
You have to
right
have
about
it.
now.
I think she has
She's
it and
not
cures it
getting it.
a lot every day.
No, I'm just saying.
All right. There he is. There she is.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Either way.
Wow.
Again, Terry, nothing is causing me to have this visual eliminated where I'm just assuming it happens to real sizable women.
I don't know. I'll have to look up the magazine that it's in. See if they have pictures of the ladies.
Mm-hmm. Crystal!
Hello?
Yes, Crystal.
Hi. I'm calling because I definitely suffer from that. My friends are constantly telling me I need pills or a psychiatrist, and my boyfriend's
No, they're just trying to tell you you're a slut. There's a big difference between slutty-like behavior and the can't control yourself type attitude in life and this condition. Are you able to separate the two there or no?
Yes, I've been with my man for 5 months, and I ask for it at least 20, 30 times a week.
Not about asking for it, being a nympho or horny. That's not part of the condition, really.
So, I can keep going, and I feel like I'm going to spaz out. I feel like I want to crack
we're
my
all
head
very
on the wall
impressed.
because I
Yes.
just can't stand the feeling of not wanting, like, I constantly want it.
Yes, and something tells me your boyfriend has crashed your head against the wall, not in a love-making effort, but that's not, I guess, what we're discussing, and
No.
people are confused. This is not a sexual condition.
No, it's not a pleasure thing. It's not like, ooh, I want to get it bad. It's a, ooh, I want to get rid of it.
Yeah, but I would imagine, though, if you're suffering from this horrible condition, Terry, you still can't help but want some kind of relief.
Right.
And the
But
relief...
it's your body, not your brain. Remember that.
But even being intimate does not stop the feeling. 1 minute later, I still can't even stop. I need it again. I can't. The feeling doesn't stop. I constantly have
Are you
to
in
have
pain
I
at
set
all?
the over-under on this one at 260, Terry.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Is that what you're
Okay,
saying?
yes, I am a big girl.
Are you ticklish?
Okay. We thank you for your call.
Okay, bye.
Yeah, right. She even laughs jiggly, Terry.
That's kind of the way I feel with Chinese food.
Well,
I'm hungry right after I eat it.
Goes through your system so fast.
I'm
Jenny!
I'm swelling. I'm throbbing.
Jenny!
Tingling.
It's
hello?
PSGAS, though. That's the problem.
Yes, Jenny. P.S. Moogle got pen. Yes, Jenny.
Okay. Well, I think that I have had this before.
Tell us about it.
And I'm not a big girl.
Okay. Continue on.
Really?
Well, you can look at my MySpace if you want to, but I'm not going to say it on the air.
All right. Well, what was your condition? What did you suffer from? When was this, and how long did it last?
Okay, well, actually, I've had it for the past year, but I haven't had sex in almost a year because I'm choosing to not have sex for a year.
All right.
And I thought that maybe that's just why.
Well, you're saying you've
there
had...
would be times where, like, for 3 days straight, like, I just was, like, walking around and I just wanted sex, but I couldn't do it because I didn't want to, but...
But walking around wanting sex is not part of the condition,
Right,
Terry?
right. It's more like what was your body doing? I mean,
it was like
see,
I was sitting at work and I was turned on and there was nothing, that should be turning me on.
Was your vagina
and I
turned
felt
out or
so
not?
wrong about it.
Was your vagina like a big piece of uncooked filet mignon or not?
I don't know. No, I don't think so.
I don't know if that's
I
really
didn't really
best way to
go
describe
around
it.
down there to see or anything.
More like a New York strip. Anyway.
But hers is a mental block because she's decided not to do it at all for a year.
Right. I think people are very confused by this condition,
And it
Terry.
is kind of confusing.
And you went out of your way to describe it as on point as possible, and yet no one wants to see it for what it is, Terry.
Hey, your nethers are aroused, but you're not horny per se, right?
Right.
But aroused is almost the wrong word. Your nethers are in like an uncomfortable,
intense,
flared up almost.
Yeah.
It's almost like a beyond an uncomfortable ST. It's like herpes in some sense.
Ew.
It's uncomfortable. Yes.
Ew. It's like, okay, I didn't have it.
You're
then.
as uncomfortable as when you have an outbreak of herpes, I would imagine,
Right.
Because I don't have herpes or any STD.
Right.
But
a friend told
me it's very uncomfortable.
Right.
Have you had that kind of feeling? Where you were begging yourself to just have a little relief or not?
It came to a point where I was almost, seriously, I'm not that kind of girl. I almost just wanted to grab a guy and have sex.
Oh, jeez.
Well, but...
Again, they only use the symptom of horniness, Terry.
Right.
A lot of horny women are calling in, and I don't mind that.
Yeah, where do you work?
Mm-hmm.
I
Hey,
was
Harry.
just sitting at work, and I'm a finance manager, and I would be sitting at work in a meeting or something, and it's like, it just wouldn't stop, for days at a time. And I don't know if that's maybe what the condition is or not, or maybe it's just because, like I said, I just chalked it up to the fact that I, hadn't done that.
And as you were sitting at work, you were just dying for some guy to just throw you on the cubicle and plow you, right?
It wasn't a mental thing, like you were saying. I didn't want to have sex
I know.
with a guy. It was just my
You didn't-
body was just walking around like...
You made that promise to yourself that you didn't want to have sex, but yet you were dying for some dude to bend you over your printer.
No, I didn't necessarily want a guy. It was just my body.
Okay, a woman to bend you over your printer with a strap on.
Woman.
Whoa.
Mm-hmm. Well, then what were you begging for? What were you hoping for when you
I
were...
don't know. My body just wanted...
Sex!
It's really embarrassing to even talk about.
You needed to be brought to ruckus!
You were kicking yourself for your stupid pact.
Oh, jeez.
That's what all it is.
You realized that the pact you made was an unnatural
but
pact.
The problem is
and you
when I
were
have sex
dying
with
to...
guys, I don't have orgasms either.
You're having sex with the wrong guys.
Wow.
Well, no, I had one with one guy.
Yes. Every once in a while, a blind squirrel finds a nut. But if you had sex with the right guys, then maybe you wouldn't be needing to make these stupid pacts that you talk yourself into because you're not sure of what you want in life.
Yeah, why did she make the pact?
Your last boyfriend was great, but he couldn't give you an orgasm.
okay,
How
no,
great
no,
could
no.
he have been?
No, okay,
Does great mean horrible in your world?
I've been with 3 guys in my life. One of them was horrible. The next one, we had sex. I had like 5 orgasms a day. The next one, I never had one ever again. And so I figured it's pointless to have sex because I'm not even going to do that. And I think that just this one guy could.
Mm-hmm. So you make
until I
stupid.
get married,
So
I
you
just
make
wanna
stupid
just not have
pacts where you start fantasizing everyone from the janitor to the UPS guy to even
Ew.
women in your office having sex with you on a regular basis.
Oh, yeah, that's exactly
And you're
what
getting
I mean.
no work done. You're an unproductive worker like the rest of the work world of America. Yeah, including ourselves.
We're getting so much done here.
Mhm.
Pretty much.
Okay. Well, it sounds like you're a pretty normal woman.
Okay.
What happens when you find that right guy, you get married, and he still can't, get it done for you?
You speaking for a friend, too?
I thought about that, but then with the one that it would work out that way with, I knew right away. I mean,
All right, no, but Terry's question is very simple, and I want to make sure you understand it and you're very clear on it. Do you believe you can be a happily married woman without being able to have an orgasm, yes or no?
No.
Okay.
No.
But that's why...
So she will get out of the marriage. She will leave the situation.
Right.
But I think that the reason why I can only have an orgasm with him was because I loved him.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's nice.
And so I
That's
think
right.
that
Talk yourself
once
into
I
that
get
one.
married and I really, really love the guy and I know he really, really loves me, I don't think it'll be a problem.
Okay, well, unfortunately, nobody loves you. Anyhow,
There's a
thanks for the call.
DVDs I must really love.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, Pacey should have hooked up with her, man. She doesn't want to have sex. Perfect for him.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Wow.
Right, there it is, Terry.
Yeah.
I think we've more than done our job in discussing this new syndrome that has been put into medical journals.
Yes.
It is official. It is on the record.
It is.
It is a true condition. Doctors have identified, in case you're just tuning in, a rare sexual disorder that they are now calling persistent sexual arousal syndrome that is only available to women.
At a price.
And if you act now,
Yeah, exactly. That's
we'll
what it
send you a
sounds
set of
like.
Ginsu knives.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah, so before you start thinking wild thoughts, gentlemen out there, you don't have it.
Right.
But you might find someone who does.
I don't know
Persistent
about that.
sexual arousal syndrome, PASS, if you will, causes women to be sexually aroused for days, and nothing will make the feelings go away until it's actually run its course.
Right.
It's like a rash.
Yeah.
You can put all the ointment you want on it,
Sure.
but, you
Let
need
it
to
run
wait
its
it
course?
out 72 hours.
Sure. So I don't know if you really want to be a guy to find somebody who has it, because, I mean, regardless of how often you give it to her or whatever, the best that you give it to her, she's
geez.
never going to be satisfied. So I would
Wow.
think that, the precious ego kind of
It's going to be unfulfilled, unstimulated.
Yeah, well,
okay.
shot down a little bit
Right.
more.
Now, a lot of women are going to use it as an excuse.
Just kidding.
And before you get all worked up over the prospect of acquiring this syndrome, ladies, thinking it's the greatest thing since sliced man, it is it is accompanied by severe pain, swelling, itching,
Whoa.
tenderness, and uncomfortable sensations of a tingling and throbbing variety. Stephen, you could go
Sounds
on.
fun, yeah.
Oh, goodness.
Again, it's very rare.
Yes.
Can you still go potty and all that, I wonder?
Jeez. I don't know, Steve.
It's very rare.
Yeah.
And so will your cooch be if you have it. Okay.
I like medium rare, maybe. If that's good.
Okay. So now that we've discussed that, we made people aware of it, we can move on.
Okay.
Move on to what? I have no idea, but we'll find out.
If you eat those low-cal frozen dinners to lose weight, dietitians say you may want to defrost your diet.
Oh, geez.
Frozen meals are convenient, but they can be unhealthy. You need to check the nutrition label to make sure it is low in fat and sodium.
Sure.
And if it has less than 300 calories, that's not really enough for most people, so you need to round out your meal with some more fruits or veggies.
Of course, absolutely.
Try not to go back to your old habits when eating a home-cooked meal.
What the hell's a home-cooked meal?
Oh, I had one last night.
Yeah, no kidding. What is that?
What'd you have, Terry? What'd you have?
What did we have? I think I made,
Must have been
Pizza
great.
from Papa Murphy's?
No.
Must have been great. You can't even think of a lie faster.
Yeah, no, we actually had deli sandwiches.
Oh,
That's a home-cooked meal now?
Yeah.
Well, we went to the store, got the deli meat.
Don't you know Terry's a walking deli?
Wait, you tried to play that off as a home-cooked meal?
I know.
You got deli meat from the deli?
Terry's getting it done.
I put it on the bread.
That's right.
There you go. I didn't go.
I bought it for him.
That's right.
What else is going
Beef
on?
stroganoff was the night before, though.
Oh.
We had turkey spaghetti.
Saturday
Did you?
night at the Freeze with the beef stroganoff. Let me tell you.
Oh, stroganoff. Yeah.
Saturday night was stroganoff night for us, too, Terry.
Yeah,
I'm sure it was.
beef with stroganoff as well.
Mhm.
Jeez.
Yes. You like it with the long noodle, right?
No, we use rice.
Oh.
Ugh.
Disgust, Stephen.
What else is going on, Terry?
I got a story out of the Houston Chronicle about a couple there in Texas who are in jail this morning because they are accused of forcing their 3-year-old daughter to fight a 5-year-old boy on videotape.
Mm-hmm. The parents forced them to do this.
Yes, apparently.
It's Baby Fight Club.
I guess so.
Love Baby Fight Club.
And-
Bad idea.
Yeah. They were babysitting.
Now we just need 2 actors to be part of the movie, Terry.
Well, these are not actors. These are real
We need the
actors.
baby equivalent to Brad Pitt and Ed Norton.
I guess so. Anyway, this couple was babysitting this little boy for their friend.
Yes.
And apparently on tape you can see the dad forcing or commanding his daughter to, who's 3, by the way.
Steve, are you breathing into the mic?
No, I think there's a phone caller on.
Yeah.
Oh, there is a phone caller on.
Yeah.
How'd you know that?
happen?
Because he laughed at something you said.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Wow. That's a new one. Anyhow.
Interesting. Anyway, like I was saying, the dad.
Well done, you radio veteran, by the way, Stephen.
Wow.
I had no idea what was going on. I thought you were just breathing into the mic real heavy.
Like I always do, huh?
Right.
The dad can
Especially when
be...
we're talking about beef stroganoff.
Yeah, he just doesn't like the rice. He wants the long noodle.
Well, you got to have your stroganoff moment with the long noodle, Terry.
guess
Can't you put it on mashed potatoes or something?
All right.
Oh.
Talking about anyhow, well,
I was telling you that this dad...
is this video on the internet, yes or no?
No,
It's
no,
not.
no.
We can't find it on the internet?
No. They're in jail.
I understand, but that doesn't mean the video didn't make the internet, Terry. Everything makes the internet. If I look hard enough, am I finding Baby Fight Club on the internet?
I
yes or
don't
no?
know. I don't.
If I can promise you that Baby Fight Club is on the internet, 3-year-old girl. You said the 3-year-old girl pummeled the 5-year-old boy?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yes.
That's really sad.
Knocked the boy down, kicked him, and hit him in the face.
So he got his ass kicked by a 3-year-old girl.
Yes,
That gets me a little
and-
concerned about just the prospect of having an embarrassing child.
And
beaten up on tape by a 3-year-old girl.
Not only that.
Don't you have any respect for yourself?
Well, that's
Kick her ass!
Whoa.
Oh, it is. What?
That's
Punch
the
her in
thing.
the butt.
Jeez. The little boy was crying and begging for the little girl to stop, and the father of the girl, who put it all on tape in the first place, was declaring his daughter, quote unquote, the winner,
Sounds
and
like she
yelling
was,
at the
Terry.
boy for not defending himself. And
Now, the boy was... Where were his parents?
they were babysitting.
They were hiding in shame.
No, well, they were babysitting the
Who was
5-year-old.
Oh, the... Mhm.
The parents of the 3-year-old were babysitting the 5-year-old for a friend.
Now, I was about to ask
The
you,
mom.
Hot Shizzle, if I could promise you that Baby Fight Club was on the internet, are you going home making sure you watch that later today?
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Are you going home and you're watching that ahead of, let's say I tell you there's Baby Fight Club on the internet. There's also Hot Twin Babysitter Muff Diving Monday. Are you watching... Are you watching Hot Asian Twin Babysitter Muff Diving Monday before you watch the Baby Fight Club or versa versa? How you doing it in the pecking order there?
I'm going to save that for dessert, maybe. You know.
What?
What you said.
Oh, dude.
The Asian twin babysitter.
Asian, yeah. Hot
Monday.
Asian Twin Babysitter.
That.
Muff Diving Monday, yeah.
Well, if it's Monday, then it's every Monday, so...
Right. And all right. Baby Fight Club.
First, yes.
You're watching that before anything?
Yes. Get all worked
That's
up
the
and then
entree,
take out
huh?
my aggressions.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
It'd be a little horrifying, but I got to see it.
And the parents are the ones egging it on.
Oh, yeah. They're in jail, like I said. Both
parents are?
Yes, being held on $100,000 bail.
$100,000 is the going rate for forcing your kids to pummel each other.
Oh, well, yeah. You're
How is a
free.
3-year-old girl beating up a 5-year-old boy, Terry?
Well, I don't know.
Has there been a shift in the tide of physical strength in this world? Is this
between 3 and 5-year-olds?
Well, it's
You never know.
maybe we should see it as a predictor of the future, Stephen.
Maybe he didn't think, hitting her was the right thing to do.
Yeah, maybe he was raised correctly.
Mm-hmm. Interesting theory.
Mm-hmm.
But he should defend himself.
Well, I guess if he's getting pummeled to the point of injury, yeah.
3-year-old boy, 5-year-old boy can't defend himself against a 3-year-old girl?
Well, not when the dad of the 3-year-old girl is probably standing right there.
His dad wasn't being a part, wasn't being tagged in, was he?
No, but...
Just standing back and giving her tips, but she had to do the work.
Yeah, but still, I mean, as a 5-year-old, you're probably, thinking, gosh, if I hit back, then Dad's going to go ahead and step in and...
No, I think your 5-year-old instincts are to not only defend yourself, but if you can get the upper hand to get it, and you couldn't get it, and that concerns me, Terry.
And granted, the father of the 3-year-old was yelling at the boy to defend him, for not defending himself. But it's kind of tricky, I think.
I think there's a lot of soft, fruity, candy-centered Kilbrets on the way.
Well.
Because a 5-year-old won't beat up a 3-year-old girl. Boy.
Not won't. Couldn't. Couldn't is the key. And I don't think you want to accept that. I mean, a 5-year-old boy, if he's being pummeled by anyone, is going to instinctively defend himself if he can. He couldn't. He's getting his ass pummeled by a 3-year-old girl. And I'm worried about the future of this country.
They're 5 and 3. They really know what's going on.
Well, how much do you need to know what's going on when you get your ass kicked?
I don't know what's going on here.
Well, I mean...
shots to the face.
My son is 1. He gets pushed in a little play date. He pushes back.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
He's kind of a brute then, huh?
I guess so, yes.
Wow.
Play dates. Thought to be a brute on a play date. Don't kids just, play with kids anytime? You have to schedule it now?
Yes.
Oh,
Wow.
Jesus.
Well, you better have a talk with him. They tell him he needs to kick ass.
They have to be asked out.
Really?
Yes.
Play date?
And then you have to show up with the baby corsage and do it all right.
Wow.
Yes.
Tuxedo.
He went on a play date with a girl?
They're play dates with a whole group of kids. Boys and girls.
Wow, he's one of those kind.
That's right. He's the group lover.
They got pushed and you didn't intervene?
I want to see what happened there.
See if you've taught him well.
It's all on tape if you want to see it, Steve.
I'm
going to watch that first, and then the other two.
The T-Man.